was offered the opportunity to work with David Cochran of the Commodores and Jesse Johnson at the time. I couldn't believe it. It was one of the most wonderful, and it was I was honored because, you know, when I grew up, I idolized a lot of these people. You know, everybody knew Jungle Love. Well, I know I did, at least, you know, and everybody listened to Lionel Richie. I loved listening to Lionel Richie, and you know, and working with these men and having them compose my music, and meeting Janice Maria Taste of Honey. Also, it was a very big honor for me also. But I can honestly say that when I met Christopher Troy, and he was formerly with BMI, and he was asked personally by Selena herself to finish the rest of her English crossover album. You know, he kept that music for all these years just sitting on his shelf on the Reel to Reel. So when he asked me if I would do the music, I was like in awe. Now, mind you, I want to go ahead and add this. He did not at first tell me it was for music. He wanted me to finish the music that he had composed, just generally for Selena. He just thought that it would be wise for him to tell me that it was originally for Selena, and that it was up to me if I wanted to say anything to the world about it. And you know, I thought about it because I had been told that, and I'm very, very honest, that, you know, when it came to her family not really liking, you know, people to try to make fame off, you know, their daughter's name, was one thing that it might be a little contradicting, or maybe not contradicting, but it might be a little bit like they may get upset. So that's why I called Selena's father and Selena's brother and got their permission for it. So I've decided to go ahead and finish the album that Selena was going to do on the English crossover, and just give it back to the world, and hope, you know, and hope for the best. But again, you know, focusing on my music and what I'm doing, working along with Mr. Michael Lee, who works in conjunction with Sony Japan, and also working again with Mr. Grant Nichols, and also a wonderful producer.
Where
again,
do I want to see myself in the next 5 years?
Wow. You know, in the next 5 years, I want to be an icon. I want to be an example for all the young women of my age and older, that you can do whatever you want in life. Anything is possible. You don't have to try to fake it in order to make it. Just be yourself. You don't have to be a size 1. You don't have to be a size 15. You don't have to be a size 25. You don't have to be size 55. Just be who you are. That's what I think. You know, if you are who you are, and what God made you, that is like going to set you aside from anybody else in the world. Why do you want to copy anybody else? Why do you want to be like anybody else? When you can have your own signature look, you can have your own signature sound, you can have your own signature everything. That's what makes you you, and that's what makes, I believe that's what makes a really good singer, is when they're able to say something and they say, who's that? You know what? I know who that is. That's TeCheetah. When you listen to Diana Ross, you know it's Diana Ross. When you listen to Barbra Streisand, you know it's Barbra Streisand. When you listen to Tina Turner, when you listen to Crystal Gayle, when you listen to Gloria Estefan, Celia Cruz, you know it's these women. And that's why I'm just saying to you, don't try to imitate anything. Don't try to be something you're not. Try to be you. And you know, by being you, by being me, I'm actually being a role model and an inspiration to somebody out there that looks at themselves in the mirror every day and says, you know what? I look like her. That's the beautiful part of being an artist, because we're able to be an example for somebody that looks like us. So you imagine if we all look the same, the world would be a very, very, very boring place. Who would be somebody I'd want to sing a duet with? Oh my gosh. the person that I wanted to sing a duet with was Luther Vandross. And the day that he died, I took it very hard. I remember when he passed away, and it's hard for me to talk about it now. I always thought I was going to be standing side by side with him. So I put on a CD, and I stood there and I sang along with the CD, and I pretended that I was doing a duet with him. So that's what I wanted to do a duet with Luther Vandross. Abrázame was done by Jesse Johnson and David Cochran, and I wrote all the lyrics to the songs except 3 of the songs, which my dear friend Jimmy Rodriguez wrote. He had a brain fart. I write from the heart. I don't know anything else. You know, I'm not that type of writer or lyricist that's going to sit down and think of words to say. They come from my heart. They come from my family. When I wrote the song Oye Viejito, that was about my grandfather, on his struggles and how he worked so hard in order to get what he had, and saved money all those years, and for what? You know, we all end up going to the same place at the end, and it was sad that after all that saving and all that staying home because he was afraid somebody was going to steal from him, and God rest his soul, you know, everybody still went to the same place. And now that my grandfather and my grandmother are passed away, I find myself sometimes wanting to ask them questions and I can't. And I wish that I would have asked all the questions then. Querida Madre, also about my mother. And my mother's a beautiful woman, and she you know, when I am at my worst, my mother can make me laugh. I can be so depressed to the core, and I know all I have to do is pick up the phone and call my mom, and my mom will like, "Why are you depressed for? You have everything you want in your life. Don't be depressed," you know. And she always says something to make me feel better, you know. She always makes me laugh. She always puts me in my place, and that's what I love about that, you know. Ain't Nothing Like a Song also was written by me for all my friends, and because there ain't nothing like a song to carry you along. It is just for a moment, and that's all songs do.
When the